Can you walk us through the Malcolm Butler situation?
Yeah.
The interception in 14 on the Super Bowl, that whole sequence of plays, and what do you got on that?
Yeah. So obviously you're talking about great games and certainly the 11 Baltimore team and the why and all of it. That's why I love that one. And obviously you. So I thought that'd be a great one. But you know, the 14 game, the 16 game, you know, the Super Bowl, there's some crazy stuff that just happened in those games. And the thing about the 14 Super Bowl with Seattle, so going back to around this time, really, when I took over the defense 11 and 10, Bill would come to me every training camp. And again, in the Bible, I had all the calls. And he'd be like, hey, he's like, every training camp, hey, when are we putting goal line 3 corner in? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm like, we got to get that in. We got to get that. I'm like, we're never going to run goal line 3 corner. Like, it's 11 personnel. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, they're going to throw. Like, it's just the whole thing. So for years, I was like, yeah, it's going in. Like, we never got it in. So as soon as we win the championship game, and I'm like, I knew we were playing Seattle, I walked in the defensive staff room, and I go, you're not going to believe what I'm about to say. And they're all like, what? And I'm like, we got to put goal line 3 corner in. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, we're going to need this call in this game. I'm just telling you, like, we can't go 11 personnel and not have as much mass on the field. I'm like, we got to figure this out. So I knew like that Monday, and everyone was like, there's no way you're going to call this. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, we're going to need this call. So start drawing it up, going through the call.
Why do you think you need the call?
Because I knew that no one had seen it. We hadn't run this call.
But what did Seattle do to make you think you might need that call?
It's just 11 personnel inside the 3-yard line, trying to be able to stop Lynch, the quarterback run game, the receivers that are on the field. If you were going to go sub defense on the 2-yard line, like, it's just too much space.
Yeah.
There's just too much space. Like, he's too good. Remember, like, I played Lynch for a lot of years when he was at Buffalo. Like, my happiest day when Buffalo sent him to Seattle, I was like, I'm gonna send flowers to Buffalo. Like, get him out of it, because this guy is unstoppable. I'm like, that guy was so good. So I just needed to have enough size to stop the line of scrimmage from moving, and I couldn't give up any space. And I also knew that no one had seen it, and it was going to be one of those calls where I was going to make them panic. Like, they were going to panic. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. We knew, you know, that they would have a check, which they did. We knew we'd kind of get him into that throw, the rub route. So I draw it all up, I get it ready to go. We go down. Remember, we practice like 3 days before we leave, and then we go. And I kind of told everybody, I'm like, look, we're going to put this in as soon as we get down there. But I wanted the week to really work through all the problems. Like, that's just kind of my problem solving. I wasn't going to give it to the guys and then change it. So we get down to Arizona, and, you know, I put it in, and I kind of had the guys in the right spot that I thought. We practiced it. Now, we ran that pick route. We ran it like, you know,
8 times.
Of course, Ernie did the cards, but like, that was like one of those cards. I'm like, we need to see this card. Like, this is
Boyce did this 5 times in practice.
We did it. We did. And the thing was, everybody saw it. Like, it wasn't the same guy every time seeing it. We ran all the combinations. So we get into the game, or we get to the end of the week of practice, and I looked at it and I was like, there's something here I don't really like. I need to move. You know, I switched Jamie, I switched him, I switched High, I kind of moved somebody up, and I kind of switched it after we practiced it like the last day, and we kind of just walked through it, and I was like, all right, because it was really about stopping the run. Like, I was going to stop the run, and really the combination with it to that side was the snag 7 flat. I didn't worry about the other side because we knew what that was. So practice it, changed it at the last minute. I was like, okay, like, it's ready. I'm going to need this. And it's literally written, it's like 3 letters in the bottom right-hand corner of the call sheet. It's like the most tiniest call on the sheet. So we get into the game. We had talked about how tough this game was going to be. The first play of the game is my favorite play of the game. Like, you watch the defensive guys, because we knew their offensive line looked to clean the pile. Yeah. So as soon as Lynch got the ball, they were coming to take people out. And I was like, look, we're going to tackle this dude in the first play of the game. I'm like, but as soon as he's down, everybody else go find someone. Go find someone and go knock their heads off, because they're not doing that to us. And to the point of, like, one of my favorite compliments of all time, and it was probably in the 12 era, was Chris Berman, who's a great guy, great friend, came up to me and he said to me, you have the best tackling corners in the NFL. And I was like, if our corners tackle at a high level, the whole team's going to tackle at a high level. I took so much pride in that. So in that first play of the Super Bowl in 14, we tackle Lynch. everyone turns and looks and starts to take dudes out. And like Revis is like, he's going to get like one of the biggest linemen, their tackles they had that's coming. So I'm like, okay, like we're on this, right? Like we're coming. So we get into the second half and, going into halftime, we were struggling with some coverage matches, right? And they scored right before half. I was hot. Yeah. I was hot. This was a bad series, a bad play. So I am literally, I'm like, we're changing, like I'm switching some guys up. Malcolm's going to come in, the whole deal. So get into the second half and it was kind of back and forth, right? Like they were moving, we were moving. It was like, the defenses in the Super Bowl get worn out. It's just what happens. If you can control it early, you have a chance. But, if you're playing, like those games are long. And if you're moving the ball or in the first half, the second half, you're worried about, how well is the defense going to hold up. It's going to be, be a shootout. So both teams are moving the ball. And I was like, oh man, this is, we got to get one stop in the red area. We'll be okay. So it's a series going away from, like the last play of the game is on the left. So series going to the right end zone. And 3rd and 2. So I call a call. It's one of stack back or left. So the idea of the call was we're going to walk up on the edge. The defensive end, who's now Ninkovich, he's going to crash down hard and he's going to take out Lynch. And then the backer's coming off for the quarterback. So call stack back or left, 3rd and 2. Rob goes in and nails Lynch. And we stop him on 3rd and 2. So I was like, we just stopped him on a nickel defense, really 2 yards, giving the ball to Lynch. Like that's pretty. So I'm like, okay, that's going to change. That's going to change what they're doing right now. So we get the last drive. They hit, they're coming down. They hit the big play down the far sideline. It's on the opposite side. The rule change, Duran jumps over the pile. It falls. He catches it. Now, again, I'm sitting here 2014, 7 years later, in the same stadium, in the Super Bowl, where David Tyree, who I coached in college, who was a special teams, didn't catch anything in college, catches this thing, right? And I'm like, holy F, did that just happen again? I was just like,
great play by Malcolm too. I was like, on the seam. We're talking about the seam where he tipped it and Curse ended up doing the back thing.
Malcolm's great. There's a great play that Malcolm makes on 3rd down earlier where he goes up and through the pocket and then rips the near hand and gets the ball out. There's a big play in that game earlier to kind of get him off the field to get the ball back to the offense. But so now they line up on him. I click into High. I'm like, they're going to run it, man. Like, and now I'm looking at High's got one arm. I'm like, they're going to run it. We were stuck in the defense, and he makes that's an unbelievable tackle.
Yeah.
Unbelievable tackle. One
second
arm
down.
Gets him down. So now the clock is moving. So I know the situation. And so it's one of those moments where really like the clock, like life slowed down for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know exactly how long the seconds were, but for me, it felt like a half hour. So I know the call I want to make. I'm hearing 11 personnel going in the game. And I slide over next to Bill because I wasn't going to put it out there and let them call timeout. I didn't want them to see. No one had seen this. And then so I slid next to Bill and I was like, hey, are you calling the timeout? And he's just staring across the field. And I'm like, Bill, are you calling the timeout? And he's not saying anything to me. And I was like, hey, I need to know because I'm not putting this out there. Are you calling the timeout? And he's like, yeah, just make your call. And I was like, okay. So I click on it. I'm like, hey, goal line 3 corner, get it out. Make sure we got Malcolm. So like I'm down with Bill. Everyone's else down the sideline. So I hear Flo. He's like, Malcolm. He's like screaming because we had changed the coverages. So like later, I'm talking to Bill. I was like, what were you watching? He's like, well, I was watching Pete. He's like, and I'm watching their offense trying to figure out, like, they put the personnel, could they sub? He was watching. And then once we put goal line, he knew we subbed it so late, they weren't going to be able to change. They were going to go to the check. So we were just waiting it out to see who could get it out there last. And I was like, because the helmet communication shuts off. So they weren't going to be able to check the play to Russ. So we get goal line. So they just see goal line. We're signaling goal line. So goal line's going out. Well, automatically to them, they're like, all right, well, we're going to throw. Wait, I have like 6,000 pounds of flesh, like sitting there. I have like Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins, Branch, Vince. This is like a 18-wheeler out there. Yeah. Like, I understand, like, just give the ball to Lynch, but like we had just stopped him on, like, these are like some of the best players in the NFL right there.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're going to panic. They're going to throw it. I was worried about the snag 7 flat. So that was built. So I watched them build. So I'm watching in my end, I'm watching the left side. And I'm like watching them build. They bring the receiver over.
You think that the rub is all good?
We're good on the rub. Like they're going to go to the snag 7 flat. the guy to have a play
to
the other side. They're going to pick the linebacker. So I'm like, so I'm on with high. I go, hey, make sure you don't get picked here. I'm like, Lynch is going to, this is going to be snack 7 flat to your side. So I'm watching the left side of the offense, the right side of the defense, and ball snapped, and I look, and it's snag 7 flat, and we get picked. Chandler's peeling late because he had the peel call. He had the from the high to high. I'm like, give Chan the call. So Chan's peeling late, but if it was a good throw, I was like, this is going to be a touchdown. And I look, and I'm like, and then they pick the linebacker. So I'm on the headset, and I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm like, all right, it's not the run. I'm like, yeah, we're going to get the snag 7 flat. I'm like, oh my God, they picked him. And then everyone starts screaming. They're like, no, he picked it. And I'm like, who picked what? I didn't even see the play.
Oh my.
I didn't even see the play on the other side.
God.
I was so worried because the guy's open in the flat. So everyone's going crazy. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what. I'm like, what happened? Obviously, the best part of the story is Browner, who I love. Yeah. Browner is the one who we're going in half. He's like, Browner knew that personnel so good. He's like, put me here, put them there, right? So to be a good coach, the best thing you can do is just listen to your best players, listen to your smart players. So that was the matchups that we did. But when they built the stack, Browner looks at Malcolm and goes, listen, I'm going to choke the shit out of him. You just go. And if you watch the play, he's literally got his hands around his neck.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm just goes. So I didn't see any of that. I'm like, we got picked. Everyone's like, no, he picked it. I'm like, who? I didn't even know we had the ball.
Yeah.
So that was like chaos is going on. So now, again, I'm nervous because I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, the ball's like on the inch line here.
No safety.
Like right. So I'm like, they're going to get the ball back. I'm going through situational plays. No one wants to listen to me because I'm like, what are we going to do? What are we putting out there? Because I'm panicked. Like, we're going to be back on the field. And obviously, we get the thing, the games end. And I turn around and Revis is running at me and he jumps and I like catch him. Like, do you know how thick Revis is?
Revis thick?
His low. This is what he was so good. He was so strong. So he cracks my back. So at the end of the Super Bowl, I crack my back, like in the celebration, because he jumps up on me. I didn't care. Like, who cares?
No.
Like, who cares, right? Doesn't matter. Stevie B's running around me everybody's freaking out. It was like amazing. Malcolm's still crying.
I think I choked out Josh.
Yeah. It was like total chaos. So and my best play, if you watch the coach's copy of that tape, if you watch the end zone copy, because again, we had the extended end zone because we watched the celebration and all that stuff. In the back of the end zone is the Seattle mascot. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. He's standing there and you can see him as right before the snap, you can see him. You can just see, his face, his expression isn't changing. You can see him kind of like, we're about to go back to back. We're about to hand this thing to Lynch. We're about to score. And they snap the ball, and you see him freeze, and then the ball's picked, and he just takes his hands and he puts his hand on the front of his beak, and he stands there like this, and he doesn't move, and you could just see him like, what the hell just happened? It's the funniest shit ever. I'm just telling you, it's hysterical. And he doesn't move. Like, there's chaos going on. He doesn't move for like 5 minutes. He's just standing there. It's amazing. But
you know what's crazy? That's not the first time a coach has pointed out a stand thing.
Oh, we watch the stands all the time.
Because they watch so much film.
So much film. You got to do something.
With Bill and them. So they sit there. Chatty O would come in there like, look at this guy pour a beer on this guy in this play.
My favorite, every year, I'd watch.
What the fuck, Chad?
I would watch, it's true, every year, there's a guy in Buffalo, and every scoreboard, he sits in the right corner of the stadium, and it would be the middle of December. He's got no shirt on. He's got a big beer belly, and he looks kind of like, he's got long gray hair.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and every year he's there. And I always check. I'm like, he's still there.
Same guy.
No shirt. It's middle of, or in New Orleans, where the scoreboard, there'd always be a crew that in Halloween would dress in costumes and sit above the score. So you're looking
always.
For stuff always. But the mascot in the end zone of that thing, it's really, we had an extension. It's one of the most amazing things. But that play, how that was put together, the game, the halftime, the fact that it was like, I can't believe we're going to install this. This is like 6 years he'd been asking. I'm like, nope, here it is. We need it. We're going to have it right now. And put that in a week and have that thing go out was that was crazy. And honestly, that whole defensive year, give that, Vince Wilfork and I sat down because, he wanted to win again. He was unbelievable, man. His leadership, his guidance of hey, let's do this. We gave the defensive guys a book. We read, Legacy, the All Blacks, and we put all our words together and just kind of all the way through the season. The night before the Super Bowl, I kind of read it to the defense again and hey, this is what we said we were going to do. And, when you win the Super Bowl, yeah, I think that was the year I kind of told him like the trophy, you know, what it's like to hold the trophy, you know, and it's heavy at the top. And it was kind of like the story. And I explained to him how, you know, when we won in 04 and being able to hold the trophy and what that's like. And just all of that expression and Vince leading the charge. And, you know, we tell him like, you win a Super Bowl, like you're bonded for life. Like you're bonded for life. Like it doesn't matter where you are, when it is. Anybody on those teams call you, you are bonded for life. I have a great picture of you. I was actually just looking at it the other day. It's you and Rob and Chan after the White House. You guys are walking down the side of the bus. It's just the three of you. And I snapped it. You know, I mean, I think you got a lipper out to here and like, you know, like the whole deal. We just been in the White, and it's like, it's the coolest shit ever. Yeah. You know, but that play, the time, it was just one of those moments in life where just time stopped for me. Yeah. And I just like, here we go. And we're gonna do this. It's gonna be crazy.
After we scored that touchdown, I remember that's when you came up to me.
I did. I said, "Do you need any lead time for the double pass?" And you said, "What?" And I said, "Do I have to tell you that it's coming?" Meaning, like, do you need to take your red gloves off or whatever? You know, your cutters or whatever they are. Like, what do you do? Do I need to tell you that this is coming? Like,
fuck no.
5 minutes in advance, you're like, no. Yeah, that's what you said.
Just throw it.
Just call it whenever you want. And I'm like, okay. You know, so we did. Yeah, that was the first touchdown was the one we actually did the Raven Baltimore formation the first time. We were down by 14. And then when we scored one, that's when we went with the double pass.
The double pass. Speaking of double pass.
Which we had actually called earlier in the season.
Against the Chiefs.
That's
right. We just didn't throw it over there.
We called it, and, you know.
It was Dola going to throw it, wasn't it? Was it you or Dola?
I don't remember.
I watched this morning. It was going to be you.
Okay.
It was going to be.
But Dola was like saying.
He was man-to-man coverage.
Man-to-man coverage.
Like we couldn't do it.
Dola was trying to call you off when you were in motion.
Yeah. Can we go into the second time I threw the football?
2019 in Philly?
Yeah, we can do that.
That
was a great story.
So Jules has told his side. Jules has told his side plenty.
I've told my
Would love
side.
to hear your side.
I want to know if my memory's really fucked up.
No, you got it right. The night before the game.
Yeah.
This is the story.
Yeah.
So this wasn't the same play.
No,
it was a different play. Throw it here, throw it back,
Screen.
set up the catch and run. And in we always did like a little ballroom, which always felt like you guys loved that. I loved it
Just
too.
to reiterate,
it was almost like a very comforting feeling when you walked out of there, like we all got it. Yeah, we all got it, and it was loose and so.
But it wasn't always loose, depending on like the games. Sometimes we go in there running hard and stuff. I mean,
but that was. But I don't think we ever went in there like it wasn't like a big teaching session at all. It was just I would call the play. You guys would get on. You would do it and walk through it, and that was it.
But if you had like a new player coming in that had a big role,
that was different.
Like if
he was nervous,
we were all kind of watching them too as well.
And Julian, I'm going to tell two stories quickly. When he came back in
2018.
Okay, so the walkthrough, because we played on a Thursday night, so we didn't have practice. We didn't have any practice that week because it's just walkthroughs. Well,
I had no live.
He does the hotel like walkthrough, and he's soaked because he's like running routes in the ballroom. But
Tom's with me throwing them.
Nobody else, and Tom always had like a little lacrosse ball, and he would bounce it to you to like show you. And Julian is literally like, you could see everything. Like he was just drenched. And I remember the other guys were like looking at him like, what is going on with this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's obsessive compulsive right now. I think he needs to play a game is what he needs to do.
I need to play a game.
Oh my God.
We dialed up a wheel for you on the first possession.
Hey, walk through like you play, baby.
So anyway, the Philly game was the second throw.
Mm-hmm.
That night in the hotel, the night before the game, we go walk through it. Tom bounces the ball to Julian. Julian gets the ball, and then he looks and throws it to Phil.
Phil's
just wandering up the field trying to get at the defense to come this way, and Philly catches it, and I look at him and I'm like,
Don't you fucking
do that.
Just throw the ball over there.
Just throw the ball. And I think we actually did it again, just so he would like do it right. You know what I mean? And then we get in the game, And he gets the ball and he looks down the field and Philly's open. And then he lets it go. And I'm just like, and then he caught it. And I'm like, I don't know. Those are the ones as coaches where you're just like, that's a hell of a play.
Thing is, if I would have flipped my hips, guy was in my face. I would have got
You did get drilled.
I got drilled.
You got drilled.
I come running off. When I come running off, you go, you're fucking dangerous.
You are dangerous. I did. You're dangerous. But that was awesome. I remember because you were the only one that threw a touchdown pass that game.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember like and he would come in the next day and he would put ice. He would have his shoulder wrapped in ice in the team meeting room, and he would sit in the front, I gotta.
I'd always come in like the last person to come in too.
Always. And Brady would just be like,
I'm like, Coach, you got the door. Don't worry. Jim, you got that ice.
Gotta take care of that.
Sometimes I have the training staff come and ice me in front of everyone.
Looking like you just threw a complete game shutout, bro.
Literally. Like it's Randy Johnson after a 9-inning.
Oh, my. I will say that pass, the You're Dangerous Maverick moment in Philly, put Jules at 5 of 6, 141 yards, and 2 TDs as a passer.
There you go.
What was his rating?
Had to be exceptional.
That had to be amazing.
Yeah, we had the one in the Super Bowl to Dion.
Oh man, he was close to it.
He almost made that.
He almost made that catch.
I shouldn't have thrown it.
That was nuts. What do you mean?
Was he open?
Yeah, he got him. He was like just by him. The guy did a good job of peeling on it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the defense was over there.
That game was a blur.
158.3.
That's
perfect.
Is that perfect?
That's perfect.
Someone would say that's pretty good.
Not too shabby, bro.
Someone say
The loudest I've ever heard that stadium was when you threw the double pass and scored. That I've never heard that stadium. That stadium has been loud a number of times in our lives.
Yeah.
That was the loudest noise that I personally had heard, like because it was almost like, we came back once, then we're down 2 touchdowns, and so they're like, oh no, not again. Then we come back again, and to do it that way with you hitting Dan, I mean, that was as noisy as I think I can ever remember.
That was a fun play, but it wasn't over. So
Nope.
Hold on, before we do that, we have players on. We like to walk through like a specific moment, generally from the big game. We've heard Jules's perspective. We've heard Danny Amendola's perspective of that play. I'd love to hear your like beat by beat perspective of that double pass play.
So down 7, then they punted, got the ball back. I remember it was ready, and I had already checked with Bill. Like we're good. He goes whenever you want to do it, I'm good. And because I always felt like whenever you're running something that's a little bit screwy, just you better check with your big boss and make sure that you're not doing it. He doesn't want you to like fake punts and So he already signed off whenever you want to do it, and I just didn't feel right about doing it. Not like I wanted to get a first down and then do it.
yeah.
I didn't want to do it like the first play of the drive. I didn't want to do it on 2nd and 8, like after the first play of the drive. I wanted to can we get a first down? And then once we get the first down, let's try it. You know what I mean? And so we did. We got a first down, and then I think it was right around midfield, and it was kind of the right time to do it. Mm-hmm. And Dean acquiesced. He brought the star blitz off the side that we threw the ball to. He gave us. We didn't know we were going to get that, but it made the play better because we only had one guy out there that we needed to block, and it wasn't 2. And so was that Gronk out there?
Gronk.
I think it was Gronk out there. And then Danny did a good job of hesitating and going by. But, after I asked him if he needed any lead time, he said no. Bill had already, signed off on the whole thing. And I just really wanted to get a first down so it wasn't so almost like desperate. Mm-hmm. Like we got to try this right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of.
No, thirsty.
Yeah, get a little bit of a momentum going in the drive, and then give ourselves a chance to see if we could hit it. So, and it was perfect because it was on our sideline. I love doing those things when they're on your sideline.
So when I'm going over emotion, what's going through your mind?
It's not man. And then when I saw the guy start to creep in and he was going to blitz, I'm like, I don't know. We couldn't have drawn up a better, them playing a better defense for the play. It was really just going to matter whether the corner bit it or he didn't.
Yeah.
And, Danny did a good job of bluffing it and then went by.
You mentioned, wanting to do a play like that after first down and doing it on your own sideline. These little details, is that like to factor in with your play calling? Is that innate? Is that something with reps? Like, where do you pick up those little details when it comes into your craft of play calling?
I think it's just probably experience. I think when you're coming off the sideline and like the defense is kind of ready for almost anything, like I don't think that's a great time to like spring your craziest play on them all the time. I think it's almost like you run a play, you run a second play, oh, you got a first down. So they're kind of like, all right, they're just driving the ball. They're just trying to do the same stuff they've been doing, throwing the ball here, dink and dunk, which is what I wanted them to be thinking.
Yeah.
And so we get a first down and we're into a drive. The defensive coordinator, he knows we're not going fast. He's into his drive now. You know what I mean? Meaning Dean's, you kind of get into a rhythm of the drive itself. Each drive is different. And so we first down play, huddle, second down play, first down, go back to the huddle. You know what I mean? So now Dean's in his rhythm too. And so, again, I thought that was a better way to do it, honestly, than go out there and be desperate and try to hurry up and get to it.
And, people don't realize these, I don't know how it's in other places, but there's a department that studies and gives everyone around the league what they're doing to our coaches, and they look at it. These guys study it so that, you can always see when it's the best opportunity. He's probably seen this situation go down, may not be the specific trick play, but a different trick play that, a team off of, a big play makes another big play, feels desperate. So these guys, they're always watching the game.
Yep.
And that's how they get their experience. It's not only through coaching it, but watching other coaches. The great coaches will use their experiences and implicate it into their own.
I've called enough plays
Yeah.
and made enough mistakes when I was younger, to like, all right, well, that sucked. You know what I mean? Like, that totally wasn't the right time to do that, and I think learning through your failings as you're going is a helpful thing. So you have a little bit of wisdom, after you've put enough pelts on the wall.
Yeah.
Where now you kind of know, like, I remember not to do that because of this game, and I tried it and it backfired. And the other thing I would say about this is, and you would attest to this, we practiced those things and we didn't act like they were like so special that it was like impossible for us to succeed at them. I treated those things like almost like a play action pass.
Yeah.
Like a flea flicker or a double pass. Like, if you rep it enough, what's the difference?
Like, other than the ball handling and
but I trusted you enough, and we'd repped it enough where I was like, I didn't call it and go like this.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? I called it going, as long as the defense is going to give it to us. I've seen us execute this many times. Look at it. He's got this smile like, yeah, tell him how many times I hit it in practice.
I think I overthrew him 3 or 4 times. Boy genius, Brandon Staley called a timeout. I didn't know if I didn't know if you guys were gonna go and maybe let that thing ride out. But were you guys gonna let it ride out?
Fuck no. And I didn't even hear about this. Oh yeah, they were thinking about doing a tie until after the game, because we were in a position where, we were close in field goal range, but if something fucking tragic happened, they block it or something, we could lose the whole year. But I remember Rich on the sideline, he was, going back and forth, what do we do here? And he's like, fuck it, just run this power one more time, or whatever the play was. And Josh broke loose and got like 12 to 15 yards, and boom, now we're in field goal range. So honestly, it was a fuck you to the Chargers because they called the timeout. And we were thinking about doing the tie, like taking a knee and fuck it, we're going to make the playoffs, whatever. But they called a timeout, and we just said, fuck it, we're running another play, and we got the first down. And
what do you think they were thinking?
I don't know. I mean,
were they going to try to get it back and have a plus 50 punt and then like try to drive it down with like 3?
It made no sense. Not one bit of sense.
Brandon Staley said we didn't have our right defense in there. He's got all the answers.
A Kodak timeout.
A timeout.
You got any Staley stories?
Staley stories? I don't have any personal up close, anything like that, but I just know playing the Chargers the last couple years, I mean, you expect just the craziest shit. I mean, even in that game, it was like the first or second quarter, and they went for it on their own 18. And, like, we're like, what the fuck? Like, we're sitting there, we're like, they're not punting the ball. We're like, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Like, there's a time and place. I understand aggression and, okay, the analytics, but there's a time and place. I mean, biggest game of the year, you can't be going for it on 4th and 18 or 4th down on your own 18.
Yeah, you know, I
wild.
mean, and then the next year, you know, they kind of change. They try to change. You know what I mean. They were doing. We weren't doing it as much. I mean, it's honestly crazy to me that he called the timeout.
It's wild.
Why?
People were talking about that all week, and it almost fucking happened. That's the craziest
I remember
part.
that.
What if it actually? And then all of a sudden we're sitting there, we're like, okay, what the fuck? This actually might happen right now.
Scripted.
And that would have been worse. Yeah, scripted. But that would have been worse. Fuck that. I'd rather lose than both of us get in.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Send them home.
I'm with you.
That's when I heard that we were potentially, I'm like, what? Fuck that. You die on your sword. You go all in, we're going to either win or we're losing the shit. We're not both going. We're not sending them on, you know what I mean? You can't give them a handout. Be like, all right, we're taking a knee.
It's the AFC West, baby. We
No,
like
you
each other.
send those fuckers home.
Defensive side of the bench, you guys are chilling there, while offense is out there.
Yep.
What do you guys? You guys are all talking. Are we gonna score or what? Did you guys know the plan?
We had no doubts that we were going to try to win the game. We had no idea that was even a thing. So yeah, in our heads we're like, I mean, we just need to get in field goal range. We were that close. We were right there. So we're like, all right. I mean, we had no idea. So it just seemed normal. Boom. Carlson went, kicked the field goal. And then after the fact, we ended up finding out that all this controversy and they were going to take a knee and shit. And we're like, what the fuck?
But can you walk us through beat for beat the pick six? It's an easy one.
In Super Bowl 36.
That was one the easiest, picks, like, because I always give credit to Vrabel. Vrabel, made him errant throw. It was one of those things where, he did the same thing that Indy used to do and start putting Marvin in motion. So they put Isaac in motion, so I couldn't get him at the line of scrimmage. And it was one of those places you had to back off, you go in motion, and you just seen it you coming. Vrabel got through so clean that, okay, now I'm just reading him. And then it was an errant throw. So I said, I'm going to be hesitant in case Isaac, because Isaac can route.
Yeah.
He will route the hell out of you. So it's like, okay, you playing for the double move. It might be, because I didn't know, because he wasn't going in motion like that until then. So I was kind of trying to feel it out. So what type of game is it going to be? And Vrabel came in there and he wind back to throw it. I'm like, you bullshit. He threw it. Come on, man. Come on, Kirk. You know what I mean? And it was coming like it was slow motion. I was sitting like, oh, this is the Super Bowl. That's the kind of shit you drop, because it's so easy. It's so easy, and you would drop it. But, once I got it, man, all you seen was flashes, and it was like everything went blank, and, it's like you hear the screams and it just went silent. And I'm running down there and just flashes and knowing that this is it, in the Super Bowl, and got that pick, and the rest, we rode the hell out of it. You know what I mean? We rode the hell out of that thing, man.
What was
Vrabel's
the
pick.
hand? Is that just like...
I don't even know what I was doing. It's Super Bowl. I just threw it up. You know what I mean? It's something that I've never done before on any of my picks or my pick sixes. I didn't throw it up. It was just something that just happened, and I threw it up there, and it's been the iconic picture ever since.
Well, we're here to talk about one thing. Take us through the last shot beat by beat.
Well, we sitting on the play was actually for Manu Ginobili. It wasn't for me. I was supposed to inbound it to Manu and then set a pick and roll for him so he can get to the rack. And so I'm seeing him come off the pick from Tim, and I was like, okay, the only pass I can do is a bounce pass, because that's the only way I can get. So I bounce pass. And bounce passes I hate, but sometimes you have. And when I bounced it, Rashid kind of looked at him like, oh, he's really close. So he went for the trap. And so I just stepped in, and I was on fire. So I wasn't going to try to put it on the floor to create for anyone. So I took the shot. And after I was watching, I didn't realize Tayshaun Prince, one of the best defensive players in the game, he almost blocked the shot. But when you're so focused on your shot, you don't even see him. And then next thing you know, it rattles in and we go up. We go up and we win this game.
Man.
It's I noticed in the clip earlier that you showed Eminem up there. And I never talk trash. And Eminem was behind the bench, said, "You won't be getting number 6 tonight, buddy." And I looked at him, and so I started talking trash to Eminem.
What'd you
because
say?
I said, after I hit that first, I said, you in fucking trouble now, dog. They better fucking get me. I said, it's on.
What'd he
And
say?
he started smiling, right? He didn't say much. And then after I did this dunk on Rip, I looked at him like, told you. It's fucking over. So it was just one of those things. I never talk trash, but when someone talks trash to me, and it's Eminem,
Yeah.
you know, one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Go.
You know?
We all love him.
Yeah, and so I had to talk trash back to him, man. So it was a moment.
we got to rename this game. This is the Eminem game.
It's the Eminem.
Eminem,
game.
thank you for talking shit to Big Shot Bob because it made him talk himself into a moment. He talked himself into a moment.
21 points in the last 17 minutes.
21 points in the last 17.